Module 19, to be in action. Short, sharp, powerful words, to be action. This is what so much of what you've been doing comes down to, because all the theory in the world not put into practice is useless. This is the difference between knowing what to do and doing what you know. Prospecting is about getting in front of that client. There is so much support in the world about what to do when you're finally in front of that client. But the difficult part for most people is getting in front of that potential client. Lots of the models have existed for a long time. Some of them are old and archaic, some of them are current and relevant, some have stood the test of time. You may even be familiar with some, like as soon as your training is done, write down the names of 100 people that you know. You may be familiar with ratios around activity that say things like, make contact with 15 people. Of those 15, you'll get 10 appointments, and of those 10 appointments, you'll get 5 closes. All of that is good guidance. It prompts you to get into action, but it's so much simpler than that in the foreground. A little bit more complicated in the background. That's why you've had 18 modules prior to this. The way that I would suggest that you measure this and drive it is that you look at your number of approaches and your number of first appointments. If prospecting is about getting that first appointment, then the number of approaches that you make will put you in a better position to get a number of first appointments. That's activity. The need for activity has been here forever and will never go away. You need to be active. You need to be in action. I've given you a model that supports you in this. Approach a potential client, connect with that potential client, and then invite him or her into a business conversation. Suggest that you take your casual chit-chat type of conversation further and set up that first meeting. That's our objective in a prospecting course. Quality is still important. The quality of the approach, the quality of the client, the quality of that first meeting. No matter what you do or how you do it, it all has to be underpinned with quality. You need to drive quality, seek quality, provide quality. Being in action is also a gauge for your success. You can measure your action through approaches and first meetings. If you're in action, you'll be approaching on a regular basis according to a predetermined, well thought out strategy, and you'll be acquiring those first meetings. Great drive, great gauge. The one leads to the other. If you don't approach, you're not going to have first meetings. So the worksheet discusses this, and it suggests a tabular format that you can use in order to track both your approaches and your first meetings. You can use any format. Again, you can create a spreadsheet like I've done and use that as a prompt. You can use a whiteboard. You can use a CRM system if you have one. The point is that you need to be in action. You need to be active around the activity that you require in order to get those first meetings. In the worksheet, I invite you to set yourself a goal with regard to the number of approaches and the number of confirmed first meetings. And track that goal on a weekly basis. If you achieve it, great. If you don't, you need to carry what's remaining over to the next week and your goal increases. If it's easy, well, then you need to set a new goal. Spend some time on the worksheet. Think very carefully around the goals you want to set yourself in respect of being in action. Write them down. Create the system, the format, the spreadsheet that will support you in doing that, and stick to it with absolute commitment and resolution, because this is not just a business saying to you, no, it's all about activity. You need to be talking to people. You need to put something on the wall or the board so that you can track it. This is real. I'm simplifying it. I'm not talking about ratios and age-old models. I'm saying you need to connect with people. Let's go one step back. You need to approach people, connect with them, invite them into a conversation and secure that first meeting. Because if you're not doing that, you have nothing. 18, now 19 modules are just theory. You're moving from the knowing to the doing. And what supports you in the confidence to do all of this is the work you've done on yourself. You are almost at the end. 2 more modules to go, and you will have completed the course. Amazing work, absolutely incredible. You're putting it into practice from now. The 6 weeks is where I will continue to support you and guide you and to some degree hold you accountable. But you're putting your learnings into practice now. You are in action around prospecting. Good luck and keep going.